Hey friends, it's Dr. V. Welcome to day number 3, okay? And today I want to talk a little bit about doing an affirmation about ourselves, speaking life over our health, speaking life basically over our life. Now, when it comes to foods, there are certain foods that have no nutritional value at all, zero. They're just completely not healthy. The only thing they're good for is they please the palate. They taste good, okay? Now, there's some other foods that are not healthy, but they're not super healthy. I'm not super unhealthy, but they could be accessible in small portions or infrequently. Okay, so what I'm saying is, you love cheesecake, so usually you have it every night, but you're not going to have it every night. Maybe you're going to have it once a month, or you love to have a nice piece of grilled grade, prime grade filet mignon. Listen, I love that, but you're not going to have it every night. So if you have that once a month, it's not going to kill you. It is, I'm not going to say health food, but it's not detrimental if you're having it and I'm not using the word moderation, but you're having it seldom. Seldom you're going to have that, because the science behind having foods that are very rich in fats and very rich in, especially saturated fats or high in sugars, high simple carb foods, they contribute 100%. They're contributory towards heart disease and cancer, which probably kills about 50% of the population, okay, of people that we know, that they're dying prematurely. I mean, we're talking about, 1 out of every 2 people will die prematurely of maybe heart disease or metabolic disorders from foods that we eat, and cancer directly related to poor lifestyle habits, primarily the foods that we intake. And that's kind of crazy that half the people we know are going to die, 10, 15 years before the day that their genetics said they could have lived to, because what happened was they couldn't control themselves in the foods that they ate, that they constantly created a negative effect on our health. Having, fried seafood, fried pork chops, fried chicken, and just a plethora of good tasting food, but poor decisions for our health may taste good for a moment, but in the long run, it'll be like they say, it's a heart attack in a bucket, or whatever some of the colloquial sayings may be. Okay, so we really have to understand, if we're not going to be one of these statistics, we have to actively work on putting things in our system that's going to be healthy for us. Now, my biblical perspective for this, and this is one that sounds like a little bit obscure one, and it's more about what was said thousands of years ago, but how it became applicable maybe in the 20th century. Okay, in the book of Leviticus, chapter 3:17, it says, "It is a perpetual statute throughout your generations in all your dwellings, that you shall not eat any of the fat or any of the blood." Okay, so when they were having animals to eat, if they were going to have the lamb, or they're going to have a cow or whatever, of course they were not eating pigs, but they would not eat the blood, okay, because their understanding is, because that's where the life of the animal was and was taboo. Don't eat that. And the fat, okay, the fat typically was reserved for when they had sacrifices. That was the smoke that was going up. That was the aroma that was going up, which clearly makes me want to believe that God does like barbecue, at least to a certain degree, with the smoke and the delicious smell of the food charcoaling. But of course, we know that would not be one of the healthier choices that we would have. So, but we're thinking that 3,000 years ago, maybe more, 4,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, when their understanding of staying away, when Moses was writing down these Levitical laws of what we can have and not have, what's clean, what's unclean, what's kosher, what's part of the things that are allowed to be eaten, they said to stay away from the blood and the fat. And again, this is so long ago. It took thousands of years up until science actually proved that you don't eat the blood of an animal and you don't eat the fat, because, well, listen, you trim the fat off, you consume the fat, all that's going to do is add to creating more inflammation in your body, of course increasing cholesterol levels, and again making you sick. But this exercise for today on day 3 is this. I want you to create a positive affirmation. especially if you have a family history of heart disease or family history of cancer, or maybe you yourself are going through, cardiovascular situation, high blood pressure, maybe you have, had a stroke or whatever the situation is, or maybe you've been diagnosed with cancer. Listen, let me tell you, someone needs to hear this. It's never over until God says it's over, right? So you need to start speaking. As you speak, you're going to produce positive, not positive vibes, but positive chemical orientation in your body. You're going to produce certain endorphins and certain chemicals in your body, which will boost your immune system. You'll lower your cortisol levels, and you'll boost your immune system to allow your body to fight back. So what I want you to do is create, and this is for day 3, a positive affirmation about how you're going to live and not die, how you're going to rebuke and speak against heart disease, speak against cancer, and you're going to be proactive in it, and you're going to put it in a firm state saying, I am healthy and I will do what's necessary to eliminate my chance or diminish my chance of heart disease and cancer. Put it in your own words, speak it over and over. Positive affirmation about how you're going to live and do the steps necessary to improve your health, okay? Listen, enjoy day 3. Have a great day. Have a fabulous day. Spread the word. Tell your friends. God bless.